All right, it's that time of year again, isn't it? We all make these huge promises to ourselves, big goals, big dreams. But let's be honest, if you've ever felt that motivation just kind of fizzle out by February, you are definitely not alone. The good news? There's actually a science to breaking that cycle. And today, we're going to dive right into it. So let's just start with a number that may sting a little. 12%. That's it. According to research, this is the percentage of people who actually truly succeed at keeping their New Year's resolutions for a whole year. Now, I know that number can feel a little discouraging, right? But here's how I want you to think about it. That 12%, they're not just lucky. Nope, they are strategic. They figured something out, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack. So that's the big question for us today. What's the secret? What do they know that the rest of us don't? Well, to find out, we've dug into insights from psychologists, neuroscientists, and some top-tier life coaches to build a real blueprint for making those goals finally stick. Okay, first up, the resolution rut. We've got to start here because before we can find the solution, we have to admit we've all been stuck in this familiar, frustrating cycle. I mean, does this look familiar to you? You've got this explosion of excitement and hope on January 1st, and then a slow, quiet fade out. It's such a common pattern, and it's usually because we think the problem is us, that we just don't have enough willpower. But trust me, that's not the whole story. Which brings us to our next section, why good intentions fail. Let's get a proper diagnosis, because before we can build a solution, we have to really understand why our best-laid plans so often fall apart. This quote from clinical psychologist Susan Pazak absolutely nails it. We aim for the moon without even thinking about building the rocket first. And this, she says, pushes us into that perfect or fail thinking. It's a trap where any tiny little setback feels like a complete and total failure. So who's the first culprit? Vague goals. You know, a resolution like get fit or save more money. It sounds great, but it's not a plan. It's more like a wish. There's no clear finish line, so you have no idea if you're actually making progress or just spinning your wheels. And the second major problem, you're missing a why. See, if your goal is driven by what you think you should do, you're running on some pretty weak fuel. Real, lasting motivation has to come from inside you. It's that deep, personal reason that's going to power you through on the days when your willpower is just gone. And this brings us right back to that all-or-nothing trap. You know the feeling. You eat one cookie and your brain goes, well, the diet's ruined, might as well finish the entire box. Or you miss one workout and decide the whole week is a wash. This perfectionist mindset, it's the #1 killer of progress. All right, that's enough about the problems. Let's talk solutions. It's time to build a better blueprint for our goals. Let's get strategic. The very first tool in your new toolkit is the SMART framework. It's a classic for a very good reason. This simple acronym forces you to take a fuzzy wish and turn it into a concrete, actionable plan. Let's break down what that means. Okay, this slide makes it crystal clear. Just look at the difference. Eat healthier is a wish, but the SMART goal on the right, that's a mission. It's specific, it's measurable, it's totally achievable, it's relevant to boosting energy in this case, and it's time-bound. Suddenly, you know exactly what success looks like every single day. And as life coach Sydney Axelrod points out here, even the smartest goal needs a soul. So the key is to connect it back to that why we talked about. Don't just set the goal. Take a minute to really understand that deep personal reason you're chasing it in the first place. Okay, section 4, your actionable game plan. Look, having a great goal is just the starting line. Now we need a plan to actually get to the finish. Let's talk about turning that idea into your reality. This 4-step plan right here is basically non-negotiable. First, you've got to break that big goal into tiny, less scary mini goals. Second, write it down, make it real. Third, find a buddy. This is huge. Seriously, research shows that just telling someone your goal can increase your chance of success by up to 95%. And finally, track everything. Seeing your progress in black and white is one of the most powerful motivators out there. Now, this is a total game changer. You have to set up your environment for success. The whole idea is to make the right choice the easy choice. You want to clear the path. So if your goal is to hit the gym, have your bag packed and sitting by the door. If you want to eat healthier, make sure the healthy stuff is the first thing you see in your fridge. You're just reducing the friction. Okay, on to our final piece of the puzzle. And honestly, it might be the most important one. We have the framework, we have the action plan, but now we need to talk about your mindset. Listen, everyone has setbacks. Everyone. The difference between the people who succeed and the people who give up is how they talk to themselves when it happens. Look at this. The inner critic says a slip-up is a total failure. But self-compassion, it says, hey, this is part of the process. So which voice are you going to listen to? So how do you build up that voice of self-compassion? Well, you focus on these 3 habits. Number 1, celebrate every little win. This builds momentum. Number 2, be patient with yourself. Real, lasting change takes time. And finally, and this is a big one, learn to fall in love with the process itself, not just the final outcome. The journey of becoming better is the reward. So, if you take only one thing away from all this, let it be this. The secret of that 12% isn't about having flawless willpower. It's about having a better strategy and a more resilient, kinder mindset. It's not about never falling down. It's about knowing how to get back up smarter and stronger than before. So, let's end with a little challenge. Forget about that giant, year-long resolution for just a second. Using everything we just talked about, what is one tiny, specific, achievable win you can aim for this week just to get that ball rolling? Because that, right there, is how real change actually begins.